Joining us now by phone is Garrett Ventry. He is a former media advisor to Justice Neil Gorsuch, a former senior advisor to Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley as well. You've held a lot of roles there in Washington. Garrett, thanks for joining us. But as an advisor to Justice Gorsuch, you've had an inside look at the court in a way that many of us have not. What can you add to this story, the developing story, as we note that we haven't gotten an official statement from Justice Breyer as of yet, or an exact date as to when this retirement will begin?
Yeah, Sandra, thanks for having me on. And yeah, anytime there is a Supreme Court justice who retires, it sets up a massive political battle, especially in the midterms, where it's a 50-50 Senate, and things could get dicey, obviously, between now and then. So I think what you'll see here is the court at some point will have to release a statement. As Shannon said earlier, he's probably notifying people close to him prior to doing that. But I think what you're going to see here is this is a long, grueling process. You'll have Republicans who will have to figure out, obviously we'll have to see who the nominee is, but I think figuring out who the nominee is and figuring out what those attacks are on that nominee and trying to stonewall it, because this nominee, whoever it is, when they get confirmed, could be on the bench for 2-3 decades, ruling on some of the big issues of the day, from the Second Amendment all the way down to abortion. So this certainly is going to set up a big battle going into the midterms.
Garrett, what can you add to, there's obviously a lot of speculation in the moment of this breaking news as to whether or not Justice Breyer is choosing to retire, or if he is being forced out by the left as they have the White House at this moment.
So I think the idea that Justice Breyer is being forced out by the left, obviously there's pressure from a number of left-leaning groups, and I think even some members of Congress calling on him to, step aside to give President Biden an opportunity to pick a new nominee, especially with the midterm elections coming up. And if it goes in favor with, to Republicans, it could have been held up even longer. But the idea that a Supreme Court justice would be pressured by billboards and some tweets, I think is kind of ridiculous. I think Justice Breyer served on the court now for about 3 decades, and he's the oldest serving justice. So I think he obviously would retire in his own time. I don't believe that Supreme Court justice would give in to pressure from, again, tweets or billboards.
Garrett, final question to you. There's always curiosity about the relationships on the court, and having sat down with Justice Gorsuch myself, I remember asking him about those relationships, and he joked about the lightheartedness of this Justice Breyer and how he's a joke teller. I believe it was knock-knock jokes. He tells a lot of knock-knock jokes, and he tests them out on the other justices. Just a final thought on his role on the court and sort of his legacy on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's been a lot of reporting that justices don't get along with each other, but that's just simply not true. Also, Justice Breyer, again, he served for 3 decades. He's ruled on major issues. I think his legacy will be a good one, especially for those who are more view the court in a more left-leaning lens. So it's obviously going to be a huge loss for the Supreme Court because of his knowledge and experience on the bench.
Yeah, Garrett, great to have you here. Thank you very much for calling in.
Thanks, Andrew.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.